And here we are with the AMT Roadrunner. If you plan, let's put the light on, maybe it will help a bit. Here we go. If you plan to buy one, well, this is your chance to see what is in the box and what it's look like. As I said, kit is from originally from MPC in 1970, so it's not a new kit, probably an old form, probably never be redone, so don't expect anything crisp, but it is an awesome car. I really love the Plymouth Roadrunner. So, and as we have done in the past, and those who are old enough might still remember, let's start with this. This is a really old school instruction sheet. As you can see, it folds out, something like that. And then it folds out to something like that. Yeah, it's not a comfortable format, so it's not a nice booklet like you use from modern kits. But looking at it, it's actually not bad. For the age, I mean, look at that. Here's the engine. That's not bad at all, is it? Here we go. You can have a look at that. And the parts are described, which is very good. But obviously, in those days, models were made for young people, so they could learn. They could learn what is the air filter, what are velocity stacks, valve covers, stock exhausts, oil pan. They could learn all this stuff. It was all described here. It has, let me turn around, it has a color call out right over here. Probably in those days, testers colors, remember testers? Those were the days. And yeah, that's the instruction sheet. It's not really a booklet, it is genuinely a sheet. And I personally don't enjoy sheets. I'd rather would have a little booklet which I can do page per page. That's something which will be very quickly over is this. This is the, here we go. This is the decals. So got a couple of body decals there and couple of number plates and a bit of branding. That's it. No dashboard decals or anything of that sort. Doesn't exist. Then let's start and get off with the, well, let's do the tires first, shall we? Here you go, here are the tires, and I haven't cut them up. Don't worry, I have cut all the others open, so you don't need to sit through me opening plastic. Here we go. Those pair of scissors won't cut much anymore. And that's the only set of tires, so they are not really stock tires if you want so. Here you are. Let's get a bit closer here. Right. There are either red walls, as you can see here, or they are branded Goodyear, as you see them here. Which I think is very nice. I always like branded tires, and you see they obviously have a seam in the middle which you need to take care of. But apart from that, that's actually very nice. And they are not on a tree, so you don't need to cut them off a tree and kill all that up. So for tires from a kit which originally came out in the 1970s, they're not bad at all. They're not bad at all. I like it. I like it that they're branded. I like that you have the choice between branded and red walls. And it should be a lot of fun. Then what we have as well is the glass. Now this is normally where the kit shows its age, and it is non-different here. It is thick glass, quite a bit of distortion through it. Here we are. Even has side glass in it if you choose to install it. And it is, yeah, thick glass. Good condition, so there's no scratches or any of that, but it is rather on the thick side. Right, then let's have a look at our first bit of plastic, and everything is done in this awful yellow, but that's how it is. Here you see inside door panels, and there you see the hood right over here. Everything needs a bit tender care, and we will obviously give it that, but it's not bad, it's not flashy. And then here we have the seats. You see there's flash on the here, but there is no flash on the parts itself. There you have the seats, bench seats as they were in the old days. Lovely. And I'll get them out of the package as they come in the kit. So they come in several packages. Here we go. And here we have part of the engine room with cables, which you can detail very nicely. You have the steering wheel, which also needs some cleaning up, as most of the parts do here. So you will be, get a good piece of music on, do some cleaning up. Here is the, oopsie, it's me hitting the camera. Here is the dashboard. Let's have a look here. Here you go. I'll show it to you because, as you see, there are no dashboard decals, so you have to detail that yourself. There are some horns over here, other engine ports, and a rather nice firewall. Then over here we have the exhaust, part of the framework, part of the front framework, steering wheel. So it's all very easily identified. And here we have the engine sprue, you have the block and block covers, you have over here gearbox is apart, very nice, and you have over here fan belt, headers, a rather huge fan over here, part of the rear suspension and the differential, and that's what it looks from the back. Now I must say I was expecting a lot worse from a kit of that vintage. So the kit itself is not that old. This particular one I think was done in, let me have a look so I don't tell you any nonsense here. This was done in, where is mine? Well, there even was an iteration out in 2019, but the one I have here is where is it? Well, sorry, I need to go back here. Oh, there are some very nice iterations here. 2013, so it's very recent that they actually re-released that, so that's pretty cool. Bit of flash here, let's just remove that. Right, we have done that. Now then we have a bit of chrome, and there's some choices to be made. First choice is, are we going to leave this, or are we gonna, here we go, let's leave the light on. Are we going to leave this, or are we going to dechrome it? It's quite thick. It's not too bad. You see you have two choices of wheels over here, which is very nice. Let's put it like that, a bit closer. Here you go. And then a couple of engine parts. Air filter is right over here. Then cylinder heads, some light covers, and other stuff which you probably would rather like to dechrome, like the gear stick, gear lever right over here. Then there's a second one which has the bumper and the grille and that kind of stuff here. Obviously no lights as such, as you can see over here. That's how they did it in the old days. Didn't get see-through light covers. Come on, what are you thinking? And then last but not least, we have this, which is the body, which was packed together with the chassis and the innards. I like that a lot. Why do I like it a lot? Because there's nothing in it. There's no seat, nothing, so you can detail everything apart. You don't need to have it, you know, painted inside there, which obviously is always a pain. Then this is the bottom plate, which is not bad. The tank is in there, but otherwise it's not bad. You make it black and do a bit of dry brushing, and it should look quite nice. And then we have the body. Let's just zoom out a bit. Here we go. We have the body right over here, and oof, it has some sharp edges which certainly need a lot of tender loving care. Now the car had some edges, but not that sharp, so the gaps, the door gaps are pretty, so you probably will have to redo those as well. They're pretty shallow, but otherwise it's not bad at all. This part gets removed. There is the back, there is the front, and I must say I've seen a lot worse. These all needs obviously a bit of attention. But I must say, for a kit which was first popped in the 70s, and I'm now talking nonsense here, it says, okay, the AMT Ertl was 1989. Okay, but the predecessor from MPC was popped in the 70s, and I'm pretty sure they have the same mold still. It doesn't look bad at all. The plastic feels a bit hard, because as like all these colored plastics do. It's not what you want, but it's certainly workable. I've worked with those a lot, and they certainly will be workable again. Right, and here we are. This was the 68. The 68 AMT Plymouth Roadrunner, and I think I will have lots of fun building this. It's not a complicated build, so the painting, always my Achilles heel, will be the more interesting part. Not too much chrome on that, bit of trim done here at the windows and the wipers, and then obviously the two-tone on the bonnet or hood, whatever you prefer, and we should be all fine. Well, thanks very much for popping in, and I promise I will be around a bit more often, and I wish you all the best. Greetings from Cape Town, and cheers.